It's like, oh god. Okay, so they're hanging out. We're like, hanging out. Translation. Yes, cool. I seriously, fucking love YouTube videos. Like at my last job, I was basically famous for knowing about, the best YouTube videos. Because I was a janitor at Ashbag, the community college, and people would, stop me in the halls and be like, hey, I heard you know about this, hilarious YouTube video, and then I would show them. And so then, because of that, people started calling me Tube Man. One time, I showed someone that video, and they thought it was so hilarious that they invited me to a party, a real-life, college party. And I went, and it was, sick. And there was this guy there, Dan Tom, who's, is basically just, awesome. And, he's really cool, and everyone likes him, and, we didn't have sports at Ashbag, but if we did, he totally would have played. And so he was there, and I was just, watching him. And then I noticed that he was getting, kind of drunk. And I mean, not, drunk, wasted. And it was, cool, but it also seemed like people were kind of starting to get, worried. And people were being like, hey, Dan, dude, I think, you should stop drinking. And then he would just be like, fuck you. And then, keep drinking, it seemed to, prove a point. And then, at one point, someone took a beer out of his hand, and he got, super pissed and was basically saying that he was going to drive home. And people were being like, Dan, dude, you're, not good to drive. You're super not good to drive. But he just kept being like, fuck you. And then I guess eventually everyone just gave up. And so he was just, walking to his car, and I followed him. And when he got to his car, I said, hey, Dan Tom? And he was like, are you that guy who calls himself, Tubi? And I was like, yeah, people call me Tube Man, but yeah. And he was like, what do you want? And I was like, I mean, nothing, but I really don't think you should drive home. And I mean, I'm not trying to, I'm sure you're, not even that wasted, but I just think it would be better if you didn't. And then it, didn't really seem like he was listening to me. And so I said, hey, I'll drive your car home. And he was like, what? And I was like, yeah, I'll drive your car home. And he was like, nah. And I was like, no, seriously, let me drive your car home. And he was like, fine. So then I drove his car back to his house, and on the way, Dan Tom put on some music. And I was like, who is this? And he was like, it's the Black Keys, duh. And I was like, yeah, totally. And then we rode home listening to the Black Keys, and we're just talking about everything about Ashbag and what teachers sucked and what bathrooms sucked to clean, which actually eventually I realized that Dan Tom was actually asleep and I was kind of just talking to myself, but it was still pretty cool, and it was only a 4-mile walk home. So, I don't drink much. I mean, well, except one time I got wasted with Pedro on my birthday, but usually I don't drink that much, and so people know that they can call me if they're at a party and they need someone to drive their car home, and then it's cool because you get to go to the party. But which I mean, I do wish that people would just invite me to parties in the first place, but I'm not gonna lie. It's a little shitty in the Black Keys to be this late. I guess they didn't even like respond to my tweets. So. Oh, one time, Pedro found a real life rat king, which is like, it's like crazy. It's basically when a bunch of rats' tails get like joined together with like blood and poop and stuff, and they can't separate, so they all die. It's like probably the craziest rat thing of all time. And most guys go their whole career and never see one, but Pedro saw one time, and he sent me a picture of it. And
Show it.
yeah. Stuck to a bunch of other rats and being like, oh fuck, like we're totally about to die. But then they like totally have no idea what to do about it. Or like, I mean, you think they're like talking about what they could do about it? I mean like rats don't talk, but do you think they were like squealing like, help? But then, okay, I wonder if it made it worse or better that they were like together? Because like, I mean, they wouldn't have to die alone, but also like, they would have to start eating each other. Right? One time I found a dead rat in the cup holder of my bike, which sounds surprising, but actually isn't, because Pedro told me that a lot of times if a rat knows that it's gonna die, it will like try to find a space that it can go like literally die in. Because if other rats can see that you're like vulnerable, then they might attack you, so they just like go up by themselves and die there. My mom thinks I talk about rats too much. And I don't know what to tell her, because like, I just talk about the things that are in my head, and I don't really think I can control what I think about, right? I mean, like, that's totally not a thing. Or like, I guess I don't really like blame her, or whatever. Or like, I can see how rats could maybe not be the most interesting topic of the century, or whatever, but like, if someone you love is interested in something, then I kind of think you should be passionate about it too. Like, for example, something I've always been really passionate about is going to Steak and Shake, because I just have like a lot of good memories there. You know, like when I was younger, my mom and I would go like every year on her birthday, and we actually still do some years. Like we went this year, but this time her new boyfriend was there, Jason. He's like, he's cool. He's really into UFC, which I think is a little bit trashy, but I guess that's not really any of my business. People can like whatever they want. He asked me a lot of questions about like big Tonys, and that's cool. I can't tell if he actually cares. Honestly, he didn't used to care, and I kind of think that maybe my mom told him that he had to care, which would mean that in reality, he doesn't even really care. Because like, if you have to like try to care about someone, then that's not really you caring about them, that's just you being full of shit. And he also asked me what type of shake he should get, and I said peanut butter, but the peanut butter ones actually taste like ass. He also asked me if there was a time I ever felt bad about killing a rat. And I was like, why do you ask so many questions? And he was like, I'm just trying to get to know you, Liam, because like, you seem like a really great guy, and I know that this is like a weird relationship to navigate, but I'm just trying to figure out how to be a supportive figure in her life, because it seems like you need that, and like you're going through a really hard time. And I was like, okay, well that's cool, but it doesn't mean we have to be like friends or whatever. And then I think he finally like died. But next day, my mom called me, and she was like, do you want to talk about the Steak and Shake incident? And I was like, what Steak and Shake incident? And she was like, the incident at Steak and Shake in which you were very rude to Jason. And I was just like, I don't really like Jason very much. And then she basically got like really upset and was saying about how like Jason was really important to her, and it really upset her that I wasn't making an effort to get to know him, even though he was making an effort to get to know me, which, like, that's total bullshit. And so I said, Mom, you say the same thing about all the other guys that you, like, randomly decide to start fucking. And then she said that she doesn't want to talk to me anymore unless it's an emergency. But, like, what qualifies as an emergency? You know, like, is it an emergency if it's the weekend and I'm at a Twizzlers and my neighbors are having sex really loud and everyone's being a dick to me on Xbox Live? Like, then can I call you Mom? Okay, well, I have a feeling the Black Keys are going to be here like any second. So, I guess until then, we can just watch more hilarious YouTube videos.